Okay, so as I said, thank you very much for your attendance today. Colin McNamee is my name. And what I'm going to talk about over the course of the next about 35 or 40 minutes or so, a little bit of housekeeping first, just we're going to keep everybody on mute. If you do have questions, please by all means feel free to put them into the chat or into the Q&A within the Zoom functionality. And we will keep all those questions till the end and we'll ask them afterwards. What I'm going to talk about, as I said, the end of use and learn and where we are in relation to heading for the end of use and learn for FMD in Ireland on the 30th of May, which is next Monday. I'm going to talk a bit about scanning and alerts, NMBS alerts, which is a software platform that we use for the reporting and recording of alert management, a few issues on miscellaneous, and then I'll conclude just with a few recommendations as to how best to ensure that users of the FMD system at end user level, pharmacy and hospital level are well set up for the end of use and learn on the 30th of May. We'll then stop the recording and take any questions that people have. We will obviously circulate these slides afterwards, and in the backup slides there'll be a glossary, the full plan for ending use and learn of FMD in Ireland. Some information associated with the level 1 to 5 classification of alerts and exceptions. I'm only going to talk about level 5 alerts, which are the ones that cause a risk of falsification, how to access information with an operation code directly on our website, and a summary of the IMVO alert management guidance. So to move briefly to the end of use and learn, and there are 3 phases that we are going through or have recently gone through as we exit end of use and learn for FMD in Ireland. Phase 5 was a pilot of alert handling procedures, and what we've done between March and now is we've had a group of MAHs, which are the market authorization holders, wholesalers, hospitals and pharmacies participating in all aspects of the management of alerts, which has been of huge assistance to us when it comes to finalizing our alert management guidance and also how best to use the NMBS alerts management tool. In addition, on the 9th of May, a couple of weeks ago now, wholesalers ended use and learn for all remaining activities. So all alerts generated by wholesalers must be investigated. And then obviously, and that which is coming up in the next number of days on the 30th of May, 2022, phase 7, the end of use and learn for pharmacies and hospitals. So all alerts generated by pharmacies and hospitals must be investigated and suspected falsification ruled out before the relevant packs may be supplied. So when we talk about preparing for end of use and learn, and albeit it's only a few days away now, engagement with all aspects of the FMD system between now and the 30th of May will provide an opportunity to become more familiar with alert handling procedures, fine-tune end-use procedural, scanner and FMD software issues in order to minimize avoidable alerts, to receive an introduction to NMBS alerts, which, as I said, is a simple IT platform designed to handle alert management, and to request one-to-one assistance ahead of the 30th of May, 2022. It's also important for me to say that we're very happy to maintain and continue the provision of one-to-one assistance as we exit use and learn and throughout the coming months. So to talk briefly then about scanning and alerts. So when you verify or decommission a pack, your FMD software displays a response which contains text and is color-coded in a green, amber, or red cycle. And that depends on the outcome of the scan. Amber and red responses indicate that there's some form of mismatch between the information that the scanner has taken and the information that is in the IMVS, the Irish Medicines Verification System, which is effectively the Irish database fed by an EU hub where all the data is uploaded centrally at EU level. Not all of the red or amber responses represent potential falsifications, only level 5 alerts. And I did reference there were other types of alerts that are explained better in the backup slides. These alerts include the words, "An alert has been raised," and have a unique alert ID. For example, IE and a string of alphanumeric characters. The IE reflects the fact that this alert has been generated by packs that are designated as for sale in the Irish market. Level 5 alerts are automatically notified to IMVO, to the MAH for the product, and to the HPRA. And level 5 alerts must be investigated to rule out falsification. So a couple of examples of level 5 alerts. I'll just talk about the type of alert message you'll get, the likely root cause, and then collectively what to do next. So if the batch is not found, that can be a scanner or software issue where your scanner or software has picked up some form of mismatch between what it has read and what is within the IMVS database, or the data has not actually been uploaded by the MAH. These are problems that are getting fewer and fewer as MAHs are developing more and more efficiency in terms of ensuring that their data is uploaded. But sometimes it does happen that the batch just hasn't been uploaded to the IMVS, and as a result, the batch that your scanner and FMD software is looking for does not exist. Or the pack is not found, or the serial number is unknown, and again, that can be a scanner or software issue where there's been some sort of muddling up of the letters and numbers when they've been scanned by the scanner, or how it's been interpreted by the software. Or again, albeit unlikely in these circumstances, the data hasn't been uploaded by the MAH. The pack could already have been decommissioned in another location. This is something that we would term a procedural error, where a decommissioned pack has been received from another pharmacy or wholesaler. We do see this frequently as an explanation for these alerts, where the pack has been borrowed either from another pharmacy in the locality or from a pharmacy within a group of pharmacies. And it does happen. And we would say it's always best to ensure that you know where you've borrowed the pack from. And our recommendation would be, if you are borrowing a pack, just conduct a very quick verification scan when you borrow it, so that you can actually establish, has it been decommissioned by mistake in the location that you borrowed it from. The pack has already been decommissioned. We do see these particularly with bulk or split packs. It's a procedural error where a pack has just been scanned a couple of times, and as a result, it's been decommissioned the first time it was scanned, and every time after that has the potential to generate an alert. Particularly when we're dealing with bulk or split packs, it's important to remember you only decommission them the first time that the pack has been opened for use. Batch ID mismatch, again, probably more to do with a scanner or software issue where the batch exists within the system, but the scanner or software, the information it's taking off the pack and pushing up to poll the IMVS to compare, that information is mismatched. So what do you do if you get those type of level 5 alerts? You follow the advice in the IMVO alert help. So within your FMD software, when you generate a level 5 alert, you will get a link within the software directly to the IMVO alert help page associated with an alert of that type. That will allow you to go through a series of yes or no questions, which will allow you to identify if the root cause can be found at end user level. And the priority in all that alert help is to get you the position where you can get that pack back to supplier saleable stock. And I'll walk through an example of that in a little while. If for some reason you can't identify a root cause, set the pack aside until you're informed of the outcome of the MAH's investigation, because they'll be investigating at the same time. Keep the pack in the pharmacy or hospital until the MAH or the HPRA advises you what to do next with it. And of course, you can contact the IMVO if you need any further assistance. There are some non-level 5 exceptions which can cause alerts, and some examples of them is a product code is not known. So for example, you could have scanned the barcode of a non-FMD pack, like a medical device, over-the-counter medicine, or unlicensed medicine from outside the EU. If the batch was recalled and that the pack has been recalled, then obviously that will come up as an alert as well. The pack cannot be reactivated because the time limit has exceeded. So if you decommission a pack at your location, you have 10 days to reactivate that pack. So if, for example, you decommission the pack for supply because it was ready for collection by a patient, but for some reason there was a change or the patient didn't collect their medication, you have 10 days to reactivate that pack, to put it back on the shelf as fully active, ready for supply again. The pack cannot be reactivated as it was decommissioned in another location. So the time limit does not count here. If you are in possession of a pack that has been decommissioned in another location, that pack cannot be decommissioned at your location. It can only be decommissioned at the location where it was, it can only be reactivated at the location where it was decommissioned originally. And obviously, it can only be reactivated at that location as long as it is within 10 days of when it was decommissioned the first time. So what do you do next? Again, you will get an alert, and you will get a link within your FMD software to the IMVO alert help page associated with that type of alert. And that alert help page will assist you in walking through the yes/no steps to get you to the point that you either identify the root cause so that you can get the pack back to supply, or you can't identify a root cause. And in those instances, we would recommend to contact the IMVO if you need any further assistance. So to talk briefly then about how often pharmacies got level 5 alerts in April 2022. So we pulled the data from last month, and what we can see is that 50% of pharmacies in Ireland during April 2022 got no alerts. So they got no level 5 alerts that had to be investigated for risk of falsification. You can see that goes up 60%, 1 alert in the month, 70th percentile, again, 1 alert in the month, the 80th percentile, 2 alerts in a month, and the 90th percentile. So 90% of pharmacies in Ireland connected to the system got no more than 4 level 5 alerts during the month of April 2022, which effectively breaks down to no more than 1 per week. So you can see it there on the graph. On the left-hand side, you'll see no alerts is just under 1,000. And by the time we get to 4 alerts, so at 1 alert, there's just under 400 pharmacies got 1 alert during the month. I think about 190, 195 got 2 alerts during the month. About 100 got 3 and down, and you can see that goes down. So by the time we get to 4 alerts, we're well up to about 1,700 of the just under 1,900 pharmacies got no more than 1 alert per week during the month of April 2022. By the time you get up to the 6 or 7, we're well up in excess of 1,800 pharmacies who got that no more than that amount of alerts during the month. Where you see outliers like this to the right-hand side, they're essentially unique locations that have more than likely experienced a software or scanner issue, and we look for those in real time. And if we see large numbers of alerts associated with a particular location, that's something that we will make contact with that location in near real time to resolve that and stop those alerts from happening. So in terms of how then to manage those alerts, we've developed alert management guidance. It defines high-level alert handling process for pharmacies, hospitals, and wholesalers, who are collectively the end users of the system, the market authorization holders, MAHs, and the IMVO. It's drawn up following consultation with stakeholders, the HPRA and the PSI, and is aligned with EMBO's best practice on alert handling. Key principle underpinning the guidance is that the alert does not mean that a pack is definitely falsified, as alerts can arise due to technical, procedural, or system issues, as I've discussed already. The objective is to ensure alerts are quickly investigated and closed out if a root cause is found, enabling the pack to be supplied or returned to saleable stock as soon as possible. A summary of the guidance is included in the backup slides. As I've mentioned already, the alert help pages in the IMVO website, which are linked directly from your FMD software, are based on the alert management guidance we've prepared, and they should be your first point of reference when investigating the alert, as the information provided within the alert help page is tailored to the relevant alert type. And you'll see how that works when I walk through an example in a moment. How are alerts investigated? So end users and MAH, they initiate simultaneous investigation of alerts generated in the pharmacy or hospital. MAHs are not required to investigate certain type of alerts, such as double decommissioning, because we know from our experience that the root cause is generally for that type of an alert at end user side. The pharmacy or hospital should look for procedural error. For example, the pack has been decommissioned twice. That error should be documented and the pack can be supplied so long as there's no other reason to suspect it's been falsified. Or technical issues, such as scanner or software, where the alert relates to a data mismatch and procedural error has been ruled out. And again, once you've identified that that is at your end user level and it's been fixed, you can just verify that pack again, and if successful, supply the pack. The MAH at the same time is looking for data issues and system issues. So for example, is there an issue where the batch information hasn't been uploaded, or there was some problem with the actual uploading of that batch information, so it's not complete, which means the information that your scanner is pushing up does not fully match with the information that is in the IMVS. So how will you know what the issue is? So obviously, as we said, the exception or alert management or alert message in your FMD software will give you a high-level summary of what's happened, and it will provide you with that link to the alert help page in the IMVO website to assist you in identifying the root cause for the alert and providing guidance on how to fix it if it's something under your control, such as scanner, software issue, or procedural problem. IMVO, as I mentioned, we also monitor the IMVS for large numbers of alerts, unusual patterns of alerts by product, by batch, or by end user location. And we'll contact you or the MAH or the FMD software provider as appropriate to take action to prevent further alerts. The objective here is to ensure that issues leading to large numbers of alerts in a given end user location are quickly identified and resolved with support from the IMVO. In terms of the next steps, the IMVO is required from the alert management guidance to step in if there is no feedback from the end user or the MAH within 2 working days after the alert has occurred, and ensures the alert is investigated if that hasn't already been done. If the end user or the MAH does not provide the required assistance or information to enable the investigation to be completed, the IMVO is required to escalate this to the PSI or the HPRA as appropriate. To talk then about the life cycle of a scan after use and learn from next Monday, the 30th of May. So obviously your scan, if you are connected to the IMVS through your FMD software, you scan a pack for supply or dispense. If the message you get back is green, the pack is supplied. If the message you get back is amber, that means that there's some bit of a mismatch or some bit of an issue associated with the data that resides in the system and the data that is being picked up from your pack. So what we would say is just you need to check that alert. There will be alert information within your FMD software. It will come with a link and an operational code to the IMVO alert help page. Click on that link and you'll be walked through a series of yes/no questions, which should allow you to apply the guidance and make your decision as to whether or not you can supply or withhold that pack. And certainly from our experience, in the majority of cases, it is a case that you can supply that pack, unless obviously there's been some mismatch or some issue associated with the expiry date or the batches recalled or something like that. If you get a red alert on your FMD software, you need to stop, because what that suggests is that the data that's been scanned does not match with the data associated with that pack in the IMVS that we've got from the EU Central Hub, which means you need to, again, look at the information provided to you in your FMD software and click on the link to the IMVO alert help. That will, again, walk you through a decision-making process that gets you to the point where you can apply the guidance and make a decision as to whether or not you want to supply, or you can supply or withhold the pack. In parallel to that, and a couple of minutes after that happens, after the alert has been generated, an email is generated automatically, sent to an email supplied by you, by pharmacies and hospitals, using our NMBS alerts alert management system. So you get that one-time link, you can click into that, and that will provide you with information associated with the alert that has been generated at your location. It will also provide you with updated information that the IMVO or the MAH link to the pack may have already provided with alerts associated with that pack if there's a larger batch scale issue associated with a particular batch. And what it does is it allows you the opportunity to document the root cause of that alert in NMVS alerts. And I'll walk through exactly how that works in a couple of moments. So for those red alerts, there's two stages. One, you link directly to the IMVO help page to allow you to identify a root cause. And then second, you link from an email to NMVS alerts, which allows you document that root cause. So to walk through a pack and walk through an alert of, and in this instance, it's an A7 alert, which is a pack has already been marked as supplied. So when you click on the link in the FMD software, it brings you directly to the screen that you see here on the left-hand side of the screen on our alert help pages. And in this instance, this alert has been targeted at operational codes associated with the fact that the pack has already been marked as supplied. So the first question you're asked is, has this pack been decommissioned on your behalf by a wholesaler or pharmacy that you received it from? It's highly unlikely in our experience that this would be the case. So for this example, I'm going to click no, that hasn't happened. So the next question you're asked is, have you previously decommissioned this pack at your location? And as we know, that does happen, as I mentioned, particularly with bulk or split packs, it does happen. So in this instance, if I say yes, we have made a procedural error. So we click yes. So the message that is provided back to you says that each pack must only be decommissioned once, including bulk or split packs. These should only be decommissioned when first opened. If you're certain that you made a procedural error, your investigation is complete. You should document the root cause of the alert in NMVS alerts, and you may return the pack to saleable stock. If, for example, I had said no, that I hadn't previously decommissioned the pack at my own location, the next question the alert help would have asked me is this a borrowed pack? And I did mention that we do see on occasion where the pack has been decommissioned by the borrowing location, or sorry, the location that is providing it to the location that is borrowing it. So if you borrowed this pack, it is decommissioned. If you know this pack was decommissioned at the location you borrowed it from, you must document the root cause of the alert in NMVS alerts. Once the root cause is documented, the investigation is complete and you may return the pack to saleable stock. So in that instance, there's a requirement to contact the location that you borrowed the pack from and ask them, would they have decommissioned the pack or did they decommission the pack before they gave it to you? If they say that they did, it's a procedural error. You can satisfy yourself that there's no other issue associated with the pack, which means it can go straight back to saleable stock. We do recommend, as I said, when you do receive a borrowed pack, if it's something that it could sit on a shelf for a while, when you receive it, verify it to make sure it hasn't been decommissioned so that you can, if necessary, confirm was it decommissioned in as real time as possible from the time that you actually received it. Contact IMVO for support with this alert if you do not know if the pack was previously decommissioned at the location you borrowed it from. And again, that's the same information you'll get if you click no. So in this instance, we've ruled out it wasn't decommissioned on our behalf by someone else. I didn't make an error, a procedural error, and previously decommission it at my own location, and it's not a borrowed pack. So what that means is we've ruled out any of the variables associated with that pack that could identify a root cause at end user level. So in this instance, the pack needs to be withheld from saleable stock, set aside and contact the IMVO for support with this alert. The pack may not be placed back into saleable stock until the alert investigation is complete and falsification has been ruled out. And please document the source of this pack within NMVS alerts. So we've spoken about how we investigate the root cause of the alert. How do we communicate about those alerts? So after using LearnEnds on 30th of May, like we said, you won't be able to supply a pack with a level 5 alert unless it has been fully investigated and a root cause has been found and falsification ruled out. If you find a root cause, the MAH needs to be made aware of this so they can stop looking for a data or IMVS issue. If you can't find a root cause in the pharmacy or hospital, you will need to know what the outcome of the MAH's investigation is. If your investigation and that of the MAH do not reveal a root cause for the alert, The MAH may want to request a photo of the pack from you and will give you feedback on their findings. If the photo of the pack is not sufficient to confirm that the pack is genuine, the MAH will ask for the pack to be returned for examination, and the MAH will tell you exactly how to do this. So how do we communicate? NMBS Alerts is the name of the alert management system being rolled out by the IMVO. Our alert management guidance strongly recommends the use of NMBS alerts by all parties involved in an alert at end user, MAH, and IMVO level, as it greatly simplifies the handling of alerts for all parties and speeds up resolution, minimizing impact on patient supply. And in the next couple of slides, I give you an overview of what NMBS alerts looks like. In the event that a pharmacy chooses not to use NMBS alerts, communications will have to take place with other parties by email or phone. It's not recommended, as it will significantly slow the speed of investigation in those cases. In this situation, IMVO has to act as a postman between the MAH and end user for email communications in order to maintain end user anonymity between the end user location of the pharmacy or hospital and the MAH, which is a requirement of the EU system. So just to give you an overview then of what NMBS Alerts looks like. It's a collaborative web-based tool available 24 hours a day, which provides an overview of the status of alerts based on information entered by the end user, the MAH, and/or ourselves in the IMVO. It facilitates efficient handling of alerts by allowing end users, MAHs, and IMVO to quickly communicate with other parties about an alert while preserving end user anonymity vis-a-vis the MAH, which is a core principle of the ENVS. It also allows you to maintain a record of your own action or findings for each alert, which we do find and other users do find it is a very useful backup when you decide to supply the pack, because it will provide you with a record of your decision making. You can also easily upload a pack photo to the NMBS alerts if MAH has asked you for one. So how do you access NMBS alerts? So NMBS alerts, it's a website. And basically there's two ways that you can access it. We can set you up with an account. And if you want to be set up with an account on NMBS alerts, just email alert.support@imvo.ie to register, and we'll set that up. End users and MAHs have the option to create an account in NMBS alerts. It's free of charge for end users, and that'll allow you to log in to see a list of your own level 5 alerts and to work those alerts to report any information that you might have to add about the alert. For example, your scanner wasn't working. We accidentally decommissioned the pack several times. And you'll see when I show you a screenshot, it's literally click one or two boxes and a few words of free text and press save. And that is the root cause recorded. The alternative is you can access it via an email link. So when a level 5 alert is generated in your FMD software, I mentioned a couple of minutes later, an automated email will be issued to the end user with a link to the specific alert record associated with the alert that has popped up in NMBS alerts. It's not necessary to have an account in NMBS alerts to receive or access this link, and that link can also be used to report information about the alert or upload a photograph. Our users over the course of the pilot that we ran, everybody initially was set up with just the one-time access via email link. A number of users have actually asked us to come and to be set up and register to be able to log in, because it allows them just manage their alerts at their convenience. So what does the alert look like? You just see at the very top of the screen there, you'll get an email from IMVO, and in the title will be the words alert status change. The body of the email, again, you see it on the screen, and the key text is highlighted in the yellow box in the middle. And what it says is that the IMVO has a new alert. You'll see the unique alert ID associated with that alert. And the message from the NMVO is to please investigate this alert. You just click on the click here link, and that will bring you directly into the end user section in NMVS alerts to allow you upload and document the root cause of that alert. If you are an account holder, there's also a link down the bottom, which brings you to the NMBS alerts portal, which will allow you to go in and access your alert that way. So what do you see? This is the end user page. There's a bit of information on it in 2 pages, or in 2 parts. I'm just going to very quickly split them into just two separate screen grabs. So the first one, which is the one on the left-hand side, is just the alert details, and really it's just going to confirm what you have got back from your FMD software in terms of when it happened, the time, the type of alert it was, and who are the parties involved in terms of your own location and the wholesaler associated with the alert and the market that it occurred in this case, Ireland. The second one, and this is the only interaction that an end user is asked to conduct when they are documenting the root cause. So it's a level 1 investigation, and we've mentioned the fact that you can have technical errors like an issue with your scanner or your software, or a procedural error where the pack was double decommissioned as an error. So they're the two boxes that you would tick if you've investigated the alert and you've identified that these are the two types of root causes. The pack return box would only be checked in the event that an MAH has completed or is well into their investigation and has actually made a formal request to you to click to return that pack. So that's the only time that you would click that with pack returned box. And the other is if, for example, you're not in a position to say it is a technical or procedural error, but you have conducted some form of investigation, you just click the other box. You then come down and click the fact that you have engaged and investigated using the alert help. Just click that this is under investigation at your level. And if you know that it was a procedural error that you double decommissioned, having clicked the procedural error, clicked under investigation, you can just enter the text to say that we, on investigation, we realized that we had double decommissioned a bulk pack. Click save. That's all aspects of your alert management of this alert complete. And within the alert help software, the link that you would have got from your FMD software, you've been told that you can already get this pack back to saleable stock. In the event that you want to see other information that the NMVO or the MAH may have added, there's just two little drop down arrows here. And for the NMVO, again, a little bit more information that we can add in terms of different types of error. If it's under investigation, you'll see that we're investigating it. If it's closed, so for example, you may have an error that when you click in to NMVS alerts, you haven't identified a root cause. But if you can scroll down and you can see that we have closed the investigation, and some text here will probably be some form of explanation associated with the closure of that alert, that will provide you with enough information to get you to the position where you can get that pack back to saleable stock. Likewise, the MAH. So again, the MAH, they can do things like ask for a pack photo, require the pack to be returned, and inform the end user of that aspect of their investigation. But what they can also do is provide some information and close an alert, which if it was, for example, at a batch level, by the time you've got the alert and you click into your NMVS alerts, if you can't identify the root cause, they may very well have identified the root cause, and they'll be in a position to provide you with the information you need to make your decision to get the pack back to saleable stock. So a couple of just miscellaneous items before I start to wrap up. Can I supply packs with alerts during use and learn? So there's obviously only a few days left of use and learn, but yeah, a pack that generates an alert may be supplied unless you've reason to believe it could be falsified or that it has been tampered with. Up until the 30th of May, if you need to supply the pack to meet patient need, even though you've not established the root cause, we would ask that you take a photograph, as this would help the IMVO and the MAH with our investigations. The photos should clearly show the 2D barcode and the human readable text, the product code, batch ID, serial number, and expiry date. And please do upload the photo to NMVS alerts or email it to IMVO at alert.support@imvo.ie. Can I return packs with alerts to the wholesaler? HPRA has confirmed that packs that have generated alerts must not be returned by pharmacies or hospitals to wholesalers while an alert investigation is ongoing, as such packs could be falsified and should not be put back into the supply chain. This applies even if you've ruled out a technical or procedural error on your part. If your investigation and that of the MAH have ruled out all obvious root causes for the alert, the MAH may, as we've mentioned already, request that the pack be returned to them for further investigation. The MAH will provide specific details of the process for sending back the pack to them. If the MAH requests the pack to be sent back by a wholesaler, the pack should not be sent as a standard business return, as it must be processed as a product quality complaint by the wholesaler, which is a separate process to their normal returns process. Should I report alerts to the HPRA? Alerts should not be reported by pharmacies or hospitals as suspected quality defects to the HPRA. If a pack is found to be a confirmed falsification after the alert investigation is complete, the MAH is responsible for notifying the HPRA. If the barcode scan has been successful, but you have reason to believe that the packaging has been interfered with based on your examination of the anti-tampering device, you must report your concern to the HPRA as a suspected quality defect by the usual reporting mechanisms and not supply the pack. Reports of packs being tampered with are to be submitted as suspected product quality defect by the HPRA's online reporting system. Finally, then, before we go into the conclusion, exempt medicinal products and unlicensed medicines. EMPs, ULMs with 2D barcodes that originate from other markets, they're challenging from an FMD perspective as the data may not always be found when they're scanned, leading to alerts. We are in constant engagement, and particularly over the course of the pilot in the last couple of months with the HPRA, and final advice on the scanning of EMPs, ULMs will be issued by IMVO with the HPRA's agreement over the course of the coming days before the end of Use and Learn. So to conclude, how can you prepare for the end of Use and Learn? Make sure your pharmacy team, and that includes locums, are aware of the end of Use and Learn and are trained in what is involved. They're all welcome to our weekly webinars, or you can download the slides or recordings from IMVO website. Particularly when we reference locums, we have engaged with locum agencies, but it is very important that everybody in the pharmacy team, including locums, do have a good understanding of exactly all aspects of FMD and the fact that Use and Learn has ended. Intensify efforts to prevent alerts due to software, scanner, procedural errors. Make sure your scanner is working. Guidance is available on the IMVO website. Look out for software issues or upgrades. It does happen where your FMD software provider has developed an upgrade that can very often be connected to an upgrade in the EU system or the software that we use in the IMVS system. So it's very important that your software is always using the most up-to-date version. And look for patterns of double decommission alerts. Are these occurring due to repeated scanning by your own team or from packs borrowed from other pharmacies or hospitals? And can you just rule out those type of double decommission alerts? Start investigating. I know there's only a few days left, but even deal with a small number of alerts now if you're getting them. Remember, the majority of, or certainly 50%, last month got no alerts at all. 90% got no more than 4, 1 a week. So if you do get an alert, do investigate it, because it will provide you an opportunity to develop fluency in all aspects of the system. Become familiar with NMBS alerts and do give us feedback on your alert investigation, because we do need it in order to close out the alert. Contact us if you need help with anything or have any questions. And do please provide us with your preferred email address for alert communications. Ideally, a generic email. Our preference is not to have an email that can only be accessed by the individual holder of the email address. It's best to have pharmacyx@something.ie as a generic email address that can be accessed by a number of people on your team. And all feedback on how we can improve the process is very, very welcome. So to summarize, if your scanner and software are working as they should and care is taken to avoid double decommissioning and other procedural errors, you will get very few alerts. And that's as evidenced by the data that we've used for last month. If you do get a level 5 alert, a few quick steps will quickly reveal if there's a root cause at your end. If you find an issue with your scanner and software and fix it, the pack may be supplied once you verified that pack again. If you find a procedural error, like a double decommissioning, the pack may be supplied. But we strongly recommend you document your rationale for supplying the pack, and NMVS alerts does provide you with an ideal platform for doing that. If the alert is due to a data error, the MAH or IMVO will quickly pick this up and ensure that the correct data is uploaded and will tell you, so you can scan the pack again and go ahead and supply it. Contact the IMVO if you need support at any time. And with effect from next Monday, we will have extended support hours available from Monday the 30th of May. And that's from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening weekdays, 9 to 6 on Saturdays, and 11 to 6 Sundays and public holidays, where there will be somebody to deal with a phone call or an email. It is important to note, obviously, if we can't deal with the details associated with the alert, if, for example, it was to do with batch data that resided with an MAH, it may be the next business day or next working morning that we can't actually get in touch with the MAH. But certainly it is our intent to be as contactable as possible and to be in a position to handle or assist with as many end user level alerts as we possibly can. Just some more information there with regard to how to get in touch with us. Website, alert related queries to alert.support@imvo.ie, any other queries to info@imvo.ie. We are on Twitter and LinkedIn. There's also information associated with HPRA policy on FMD, Brexit, and their queries, email and telephone line. If you're from a HSE hospital, the project team email is there, hse.support@easyfmd.com. And if you want to do some further reading, the European Commission have a very good Q&A on safety features, which is available on the IMVO website. So with that, I'm going to ask Sarah just to stop the recording. Thank you very much for your time.